A lot of us struggle with a sense of insignificance. Who the fuck am I? What do I do in my fucking life? How can I make a contribution to the world if I don't feel like I have anything worth contributing? I know a lot of us have been there and may still be there. Recently, I've been talking about internal versus external worth a lot, and we'll get to that later, but right now I need to hammer down on this point of purpose. So many of us feel purposeless because we are fundamentally perceiving reality incorrectly. This is less of a psychological problem and more of a metaphysical problem. You are unable to perceive reality correctly, and thus, you're unable to perceive your place in reality correctly. Once you step out of this false perception and begin viewing yourself and the world correctly, you can only come to one realization. You are needed and intended. I'll prove it. Here is my undeniable case for your value. Reject your bullshit programming. Embrace your unique self. What I'm about to read you is Metaphysics and Mysticism essay number 3. This essay is probably the most important thing I've ever written, because it truly encapsulates my mission, my purpose. And so before I read this to you, I want to tell you a bit about myself. My name is Jaden. I go by JC Dubs. I'm a 21-year-old Renaissance man, spiritual teacher. You may hear that and be like, oh, what the hell does this guy know? But I think that you'll find that the things I have to say are quite fucking profound. Toot my own horn. So like I said, I'm a Renaissance man and spiritual teacher who wholeheartedly believes that the holistic approach is the only approach. Thus, I've dedicated my life to mastering the realms of mind, body, spirit, and creating. My mission is to shift how humanity sees and overcomes mental health by helping us perceive life through the lenses of non-duality, metaphysics, and esotericism. I believe that all suffering created in the mind is a byproduct of misalignment with the law of one, or the law of authenticity, as I like to call it. When we're misaligned with oneness, misaligned with our authentic nature, misaligned with our unique self, we suffer. It's pretty simple. That's why I've dedicated my life to helping humanity live their most authentic and truly free lives by helping them understand who they truly are. That's the spirituality and mental health aspect. And helping them express who they truly are. That's the creating aspect. Through my dedication to the holistic approach of mastering mind, body, spirit, and creating, I deliver a unique philosophy that shifts how the collective consciousness perceives the struggles of mental health, purpose, and creativity blocks. If you're someone who wants to live a freer, more authentic, more expressive, and more abundant life, come join my movement, the Digital Renaissance Creators. Digital Renaissance Creators, or DRC movement, is a movement consisting of conscious creators, self-improvers, spiritual seekers, entrepreneurs, polymaths, artists, and visionaries. Those who want to pursue multiple passions and holistically actualize our divine purpose. I've never been one for conforming. One for picking one thing, or one for fitting in a box. Nope. So if you relate to that, you're definitely my peeps. DRC is a community of fellow spiritually inclined multi-creatives and polymaths who refuse to be limited or put into a box. And I mean refuse. Like, get that bullshit out of my face. If our mission resonates with you, Come join our movement on Substack, on YouTube, where I drop daily insights on personal development, esoteric spirituality, creating, and living the most fulfilling life you can. That's my about page on my Substack. By the way, third link in the description if you're on YouTube. You know, earlier today I was just getting kind of pissed off. And I mean pissed off because it just disgusts me how so many people live inauthentically. It disgusts me how so many people are trapped in this paradigm, trapped in this false precept, in this identity. Because they've been sold that that's who they have to be. They've been sold that you can't be who you truly are. You have to be this box. I like to say that the school system turns our stars into squares. It takes you into, your beautiful shining star, what you really are. And it just bop, 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 bop. Just shrinks you down until you're a block. So they can use you to build their fucking pyramid scheme. System. That's why we gotta tear that motherfucker down and build a new one, you know what I mean? That's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, I'm 21, but I say profound shit. I'm here to do big things. I don't got time for this shit. You know what I mean? It's like there's too many people suffering, and there's too much work I have to do to help them not. And so if that sounds like you, let's get into this. Reject your bullshit programming. Embrace your unique self. Metaphysics and Mysticism essay number 3, February 13th, 2025. Home. A J.C. Dubs poem. Oftentimes we find ourselves lost, stranded, clueless, completely in the dark. No apparent light in sight. But then we look up. We see a glimpse of hope. A friend. A shining star winking right at you. And as you stare at the star's illuminating presence, you're reminded of the truth of your being. You look down, your shoulders fall, you let out a sigh. The smile on your face is obvious. No matter where you are, you always remember you are home under the cosmos. You are home. You are needed. A lot of us struggle with a sense of insignificance. Who the fuck am I? What do I do in my fucking life? How can I make a contribution to the world if I don't feel like I have anything worth contributing? I know a lot of us have been there and may still be there. Recently, I've been talking about internal versus external worth a lot, and we'll get to that later, but right now I need to hammer down on this point of purpose. So many of us feel purposeless because we are fundamentally perceiving reality incorrectly. This is less of a psychological problem and more of a metaphysical problem. You are unable to perceive reality correctly, and thus, you're unable to perceive your place in reality correctly. Once you step out of this false perception and begin viewing yourself in the world correctly, you can only come to one realization. You are needed and intended. I'll prove it. Here is my undeniable case for your value. This thing isn't in focus. Let me do that right now. When you really get the scientific truth that your erotic autobiography is an intended outcome of the love intelligence of reality, then you begin to be at home in your life. The scientific reality of your radical uniqueness is shocking when you really get it. You have an irreducibly unique atomic and cellular signature. The extent and precision of your intricate uniqueness is made clearer every day with new studies and evidence. Your level of dazzling uniqueness intuitively implies intention. I need to repeat that one. Your level of dazzling uniqueness intuitively implies intention. When you know that you are personally addressed and intended, you fall in love with your life. That's a quote from Mark Gaffney and Christina Kincaid's book, A Return to Eros. Here's the thing. You are unique beyond measure. From your DNA to your fingerprints to the distinct scent you give off. The biology has already proved your unique and undeniable beauty. Like, the material world's already proven it. Your dazzling uniqueness implies intention. How could it signify anything else? You are an unbelievably beautiful and unique expression of the one true self. You are a unique self. A unique self with not only a unique perspective to share, but also a unique quality of intimacy to share. Your unique being, your feminine. Your unique becoming, your masculine. Being is your existence, your connectedness to reality, your oneness. Becoming is your evolution, your growing, your desiring, your yearning to evolve. Your unique being and your unique becoming is your unique gift to the collective. That is your unique perspective. That is your unique intimacy. I like to see the unique perspective as the masculine. What can you share? What can you give in terms of awareness? And your unique quality of intimacy, that's your being. That's what you can feel, what you can connect with others as your feminine. That is your gift. And it's beautiful. The thing is, your purpose is God's unique intention for your creation. Something or someone's purpose is their intended reason for creation or their intended reason for use. We all have an intended reason that the one true self created for us and wants to use us for. We all have an individual and completely unique experience to contribute to true self, to the one, to God, to the all, to Brahman or the creator or Yahweh, Allah, or the infinite invisible, the one true, the most high, however you want to see the creator, whatever words you want to put on the creator. Inherently, it doesn't really matter because words can never truly capture what the creator is, because attempting to capture the infinite and finite, like something as finite in language is impossible. But, we can only try, and we can still connect because we can move beyond the language. We can feel what's there beyond the words, beyond the symbols. That's what we connect with. The thing is, we all have an individual and completely unique experience to contribute to the true self. That is a fact. The thing is, you are a unique self. Here's what the unique self equation is. This is from Mark Gaffney. Mark Gaffney is who I read you his book earlier, A Return to Eros. Mark Gaffney is my spiritual teacher. He's been teaching me so much recently, and he's so amazing. His teachings are amazing. So, he has a unique self equation. It is true self, the one, plus unique perspective, plus unique quality of intimacy, equals unique self. That is beautiful. We all have a unique perspective, how we experience ourselves. We all have a unique oh my gosh. We all have a unique perspective, how we experience ourselves, and a unique intimacy, which is how others experience us, that we have to contribute to our Creator's cosmic symphony. This is what you're here for. Your unique perspective, your unique quality of intimacy. That is valuable to Cosmos. I promise. Your unique perspective and unique intimacy is the unique lens that our Creator gets to experience itself through. Your life matters. Your unique perspective matters. Your unique intimacy matters. You provide value to the cosmos. Nah, fuck that. Scratch that. You are value to the cosmos. Here's another quote. This is from a book that Mark also co-authored, but under a alias, David J. Temple. This is under a project that he's doing with his foundation, the Center for World Philosophy and Religion, with his partners, Zach Stein, Ken Wilber. So David J. Temple is the alias that they go under when they're doing collaborative efforts. Here's a quote from their book, First Principles and First Values. The propositions here begin to demonstrate that value is intrinsic to cosmos. All the way down and all the way up the evolutionary chain, value is foundational and evolving. It is not that human beings contrive value. Rather, value precedes life. Life is an inherent expression of value. Life is contrived in pursuit of value, or life is contrived in pursuit of cosmic value. Cosmic value in this way generates life, as life emerges in pursuit of value. We live inside of value, even as value lives inside of us. Reality is value. I need you to understand this. Your life is an expression of value, an undeniable manifestation of the cosmos' pursuit to infinitely produce more and more value. The planes of existence that are required for your unique self to come into manifestation are infinite, from the quantum level to the biological level to the chemical level. That's the same thing. To the physical level, like man and woman, right? To the consciousness level, awareness, existence, right? The cosmic level, right? It's like, what? The planes of existence that are required for a unique self to come into manifestation are infinite. Right? I can only name a handful, but it's infinite. You are the manifestation of allurement on an infinite amount of planes of existence. Let me say that again. You are the manifestation of allurement, desire, yearning, want, need, on an infinite amount of planes of existence. Here's another quote from A Return to Eros. Eros is aliveness. Aliveness occurs as you, when the energy of reality awakens in you and through you. Eros is the vitality that pulses through our atomic structure, making our protons and electrons dance in perpetual ecstasy. Eros is the passion that makes our cells and atoms yearn for each other, always alert, constantly sexing. Eros is what makes us want to dance. Eros is very literally what transforms a relationship from a strategy for security to an even event of cosmic significance. Or to an event, rather, of cosmic significance. Eros is very literally what transforms a relationship from a strategy for security to an event of cosmic significance. You can be sexually active in a relationship and remain profoundly lonely. Very true. And many people are. It is only when you realize that your own attractions and allurements participate in the attraction and allurement that is the very structure of the cosmos that you begin to live an erotic life. Wow, that's beautiful. Now, Eros is a topic for another discussion, but let me just tell you guys the definition of Eros, or the Eros equation real quick, how Mark likes to define Eros, because I think it's very important to understand. Eros is reality. Eros is the experience of radical aliveness, moving towards and desiring ever greater contact, or ever deeper contact, rather. Ever deeper contact and ever greater wholeness. Eros is the experience of radical aliveness, moving towards and desiring ever greater contact. No, ever deeper contact and ever greater wholeness. Obviously, I can't say it correctly. Fuck. The one wants to be more intimate with the one. The one wants to expand and experience more possibilities, more intimacies, more experiences, more aliveness, more allurements, more desire. You play a part in that cosmic love story. Reality is a love story, and you have a verse to contribute. That is why you're here. And that is beautiful. Like I said, Eros is a topic for another discussion, but I need you to understand the significance of this statement. Your life isn't some random thing that happened because some particles collided. No, my friend. Your life is the manifestation of harmony across the infinite planes of existence. If that doesn't signify intention, what fucking does? Like, honestly. There are infinite manifestations of allurement that are coming together to create you right now. Right now. If that isn't intended by the love intelligence of cosmos, I don't know what is. Your intention is undeniable. Therefore, your purpose is undeniable. Purpose can't exist without intention. And you are beyond intention. You are needed. Your verse, your chapter for the cosmic love story is needed. That's a fucking promise. Case closed. I literally wrote mic drop in here. like literally, like I literally wrote mic drop in here, so I felt like it was called for. Cosmic Harmony, a J.C. Dubs poem. On the infinite planes of existence, there exists a dance of the masculine and feminine principles coming together to create you. Proton plus electron. Man plus woman. Mind plus heart. Intention plus desire. Awareness plus existence. Seemingly opposing forces aren't there to battle one another, but to balance one another. To bring the beauty of the opposite to light. This is the paradoxical wonder of the cosmic harmony. You are the manifestation of harmony on a quantum, physical, mental, and cosmic level. If that isn't beauty, I don't know what is. I felt like that was the perfect way to wrap up that first part of the essay about Eros, about purpose, about allurement, and about how inherently, since you are so intended by cosmos, that means you have purpose. Like, metaphysically, it's impossible for you to not have purpose. Let's get into the next part. The meaning crisis. Everywhere we look, People are purposeless. And genuinely, it fucking sickens me. So many people. Depressed. Repressed. Lost. Suffering. I was there. I suffered a ton from 10 to 19, especially those last 3 years, because I was identifying with a false precept of myself that I'd constructed as a defense mechanism against society. Oh, I'm shy, I can't talk to her. I'm an introvert. I like being in the house. I'm not good enough to make these drawings. No, I can't dance, don't laugh at me. I'm a gamer, bro. Come at me. Alright, that last one's actually touching. I just don't really play video games much anymore. We all identify with the false self, the false precept, the false identity, the programming. We all identify with the false self for different reasons when it comes to our relative experiences, our relative perspective. But from a metaphysical perspective, right, from a higher perspective, the meaning crisis has a lot more to do with the collective beliefs of duality and materialism, rather than your direct personal experience. Like I told you guys, inherently, most people just aren't perceiving reality correctly, and so they don't understand that you have value for cosmos. And so it's like they don't understand that internally they are infinite, and so externally they can only attach to the external, right? Internal versus external worth. If you guys remember, I mentioned that earlier. We're going to talk about that soon. But like I said, from a metaphysical perspective, the meaning crisis has a lot more to do with the collected beliefs of duality, materialism, rather than your direct personal experience. No, not to attempt to deny anyone's or even my own direct experience, right? Our personal experience. We should absolutely never deny anything that we have felt experience of. That would be spiritual bypassing. That's stupid. Right? However, I believe that there are much greater collective distortions at work here that are holding us back from tapping into our purpose and meaning, like I just explained. And one of the biggest distortions is the attempt to tie the value of a human solely to what they can contribute to society. And so if you're someone who's trying to figure out this crazy ass life thing, it's like, what? You're just a loser piece of shit, I guess. Oh, fucking well. It's like, excuse me? What the fuck? Like, what? Like, what? Like, this is what society's programmed us to believe about ourselves. And it fucking sickens me. Like, that is beyond gross. Like, all right? Like, what? That's crazy. Because your value is beyond this physical plane. It is infinite and immaterial. Here's one of my favorite analogies that I got from First Principles and First Values, book I mentioned earlier by David J. Temple, right? The idea that a tree is only as valuable as what it can be sold for is absurd. The idea that a person is only as valuable as what they can contribute to society is also absurd. In fact, both the tree and the person incarnate a dimension of value that is immeasurable and fundamentally irreducible to its commodified form, right, to that physical form. Yet, just this kind of absurdity has been driving global culture for centuries. That was David J. Temple, First Principles and First Values. To attempt to reduce the value of a tree to something as finite as money is beyond absurd. The amount of life force that a single tree interacts with through its roots, and the roots interacts with the minerals and insects in the ground. Its trunk, which humans and animals use. The branches, 3, also as this the same as the trunks, right? Humans and animals use the branches. 4, the leaves. Wonder where we get oxygen from. Oh yeah. Like the amount of life force that a single tree interacts with through its roots, its trunk, its branches, its leaves is beyond comprehensible. So much life that the tree interacts with and plays a major role in. And yet we attempt to reduce the value of a tree to something as finite as a dollar amount What? That's not absurd if you ask me. That's just fucking blasphemy. And to attempt to reduce yourself to solely what you contribute to society, right? What you contribute to society, is not only a disgrace against yourself, it is a disgrace against your creator. I need to reemphasize this quote from First Principles and First Values. The propositions here begin to demonstrate that value is intrinsic to cosmos, all the way down and all the way up the evolutionary chain. Value is foundational in evolving. It is not that human beings contrive value. Rather, value precedes life. Life is an inherent expression of value. Life is contrived in pursuit of cosmic value. Cosmic value in this way generates life as life emerges in pursuit of value. We live inside of value even as value lives inside of us. Reality is value. And most of us just can't fucking perceive this. Most people just can't perceive this, right? We're too trapped in this physical and in the material plane, right? But once we step out of that, we start understanding that our value is beyond measure, that your value is beyond measure, as it is a reflection of your creator. Infinite. Genesis 1:26 says, "Then God said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness." The Corpus Hermeticum, chapter 2, or tablet 2, verse 90, however you want to say it, whatever, 2.90, says, "Holy art thou, whom all nature is the image." And so if all nature, if mankind is made in the image of the Creator, how can we be anything less than beyond comprehensible? How can we be anything less than a reflection of our Creator? How could we be anything less than infinite? Here's one of my favorite chapters from the Tao Te Ching. It's fucking beyond beautiful. This is chapter 11, titled Immateriality. A wheel may have 30 spokes, but its usefulness lies in the empty hub. A jar is formed from clay, but its usefulness lies in the empty center. A room is made from 4 walls, but its usefulness lies in the space between. Matter is necessary to give form, but the value of reality lies in its immateriality. Everything that lives has a physical body, but the value of a life is measured by the soul. It's Tao Te Ching, chapter 11, Immateriality. Here's the thing. There are 2 types of worth. Your worth as a soul is infinite and eternal abundance. Like I said, it is a reflection of your Creator, and so it can be nothing less than infinite. Cool. But the worth of what your soul produces is dependent on your skills and experiences. Or is dependent on your skills and experiences. Yeah. Although your internal worth is a reflection of your Creator, infinite, what you can actively contribute to this physical plane, your external worth, is an entirely different set of value. Who you are and what you can do are 2 different kinds of value. I really, really need you to understand this. I'm going to say this again. Who you are and what you can do are 2 different kinds of value. They are not the same. So there are two types of worth. One, your internal worth, the value of who we are at the depths of our truest being, the reflection of the one true self, the reflection of our creator, infinite. And two, our external worth, the value of what we can contribute to the collective in the physical plane. Here's the thing, tying your entire sense of self-worth to the latter, purely to external worth, often leads to suffering and obscene amounts of validation seeking. Trust me, I've been there a lot. Still something I got to deal with. Still something I'm healing through. Still something I'm trying to figure out. Still something I'm working through. Made a lot of progress, but fuck, man. And attaching our sense of self-worth purely to the external is not the wave. Trust me. So how do we overcome this? We need to understand this. We really need to understand this. Knowing that your self-worth is infinite, rooted in your divinity, and that your journey is a process of extracting that infinite potentiality and actualizing it in this physical lifetime is the key to healing your attachments to external validation. When we understand that our worth is infinite, right? Because it is a reflection of our creator. When we understand that what we have to contribute to cosmos is extremely valuable, and it is unique, and it is beyond measure, then we can understand that our journey is just a process of extracting that infinite potentiality and actualizing it in this physical lifetime. Now, I mean, that's a process. The thing is, in this physical lifetime, we're in the limitations of the 3D plane. We're in finite limitations. And so inherently, the infinite has to express itself through evolution, through growing, right? And this is why you need to step into the unknown. This is why you need to grow. This is why when you're not growing, when you're not moving, you feel like shit. That's how it is. Because evolution, growth is your nature. That's why you feel when you're stagnant, when you're not making progress, when you're not building, you feel like trash. Very simple. So let me just repeat that. Knowing that your self-worth is infinite, rooted in your divinity, and that your journey is a process of extracting that infinite potentiality and actualizing it in this physical lifetime is the key to healing your attachments to external validation. Your internal worth is a reflection of your creator. Infinite. Very simple. Your external worth is a reflection of your diligence to actualize your highest version and what you can contribute to the collective along the way. Right? Your external worth is about being the best version of yourself, and from that, giving to the collective the most you can. Right? Giving your gift as much as you can from that. Both are important and necessary parts of our journey, our internal worth and our external worth. Deny either one, deny yourself. Embrace both your internal and external worth. This is the key to overcoming validation consciousness. When you can really hold both, because you do have both. Inherently, we have this sense of external worth, this sense of external validation. But it doesn't have to be all bad. It's not all shadow. Right? It's not necessarily all bad, because the thing is, the external reflects our internal back to us. Right? It shows us that we're actually doing we're actualizing, right? When we go to people and we want to be recognized, it doesn't have to be that we're really just seeking and we feel like shit. We're trying to like seek a hole. We're trying to fill a hole. It could be that we want to actually reflect. We want to see a reflection of our beauty, of our power, and that is amazing. That is cosmic. That is everything. That is beautiful. Like, honestly, that is gorgeous. Actually, that's the word I want to say. That's gorgeous. Wanting to see yourself, wanting to reflect yourself, wanting to understand your beauty, your power, that is gorgeous. It doesn't have to be all shadow when it comes to validation, when it comes to external validation. Embrace both your internal and your external worth. This is the key to overcoming validation consciousness. I feel behind. Last week, I had the opportunity to talk with one of my coworkers. Those of you guys I don't know, I work at Planet Fitness. Her name is Micaiah, but We basically all call her Kaya. I be calling her Kaya G's. That's my guy right there. It's gang, you know what I mean? But last week, Kaya and I, or I think it was a couple of weeks ago actually, yeah. Now, Kaya and I were talking about her journey. And she was totally I have like a picture in here. I'm not gonna show this, but you know, if you guys want to tap in on the Substack, I got a hella pictures in here that I haven't even been talking about. I just don't care. But I got videos in here too. Like the Substack be sauce. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all be missing out on YouTube. Just saying. But yeah. I had her fucking a picture of her photo bombing me in episode 27 of Road to Renaissance. I might just throw the clip up. That'll be fun. That was actual comedy. But while talking, we discussed how she felt behind in life because she has dreams, but she hasn't been making moves towards them. Right? She ain't been doing shit. She has been stagnant, not making progress, not evolving, not really aligned with her unique self. Here's the thing. Kai's an artist. And more than anything, she wants to be a fashion designer and a photographer. And that's fucking sick. That's awesome. Right? Yet she hasn't been designing or doing photography. So it was like, hold up, what's going on? Right? And that's mainly because of all the blah, 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 blah in her head that she thinks is her, but is actually the voice of the people who instilled that programming onto her. Right? So I had her tap into one of my articles, fucking insecurities and how to tackle them. I love that article. How to like I literally pulled it up on work at the work desk at the work computer, and I had her literally read it there. And this is like a text that me and Kaya had going back and forth. So I hit her up and I was like, "Poppin' gangy, how'd you like that article from yesterday?" And she said, "LOL, I really liked it. It had me really thinking and intrigued. I got to start getting out of my comfort zone and not be worried about others around me that may judge me. At the end of the day, who cares? This is my journey. I'm gonna do it well." And I emphasize that, right? It's like, bro, like, you spin facts. Like, that's how it's got to be. I said, just like you said, it's your journey. I like to say that it's your vision. Other people won't be able to see it. It's like, what? It's in your imagination. It's in your head. How the fuck do you expect other people to see it? That doesn't make any sense. And the thing is, it's definitely not your job to try to make them either. That shit takes way too much energy. All you can do is show up for yourself and make it happen. That's it. And then once you've actualized that vision, right? Once you've materialized that reality, they'll be like, "Oh, I know you can do it all along." Yeah, right. That amnesia be real once you do that thing that no one believed you could do. All right. How many of us can relate to Kaya though? Full of dreams that are just that. Dreams. A year ago, I used to be there. And although I'm very far from actualizing my highest version, I am beyond in love with my life and my journey. I'm fully immersed in my purpose as a spiritual teacher and esoteric philosopher. I get to build amazing things. Well, let's go a little too far now. I get to build amazing things that I love every single day. I get to serve my people every single day. I get to feel more connected to the source of love, of peace, of joy, and freedom than I ever have every single day. I've created a beautiful life for myself through creating, right? Through my content, through my art, through my mental alchemy, through my reality creation, through my process, through my healing, through my life, right? Through my process. I've created a beautiful life for myself. And now I'm a teacher who gets to impact people. Like that's always been my dream. Being a teacher who impacts people has always been my dream. And at 21 years old, I'm living it. But you know, it took a little bit. It took a while. It took some searching to find this path specifically. And more than anything else, it took courage. The courage to start without knowing where I'm going. The courage to persist in those times of hardship, in those times of adversity, those times where I didn't really know what the fuck I was doing. The courage to continue without knowing when I'll make it. Still don't know. And yeah, I'm just like, hey, keep extending the timeline, baby. This is what I need you to go within and find in yourself. I guarantee, I literally guarantee it, that you have an inkling of a direction that you want to head. Some interest that you want to study. Some skill that you want to develop. Some projects that you want to build. That thing is where you start. Very simple. For me in May 2023, right? Last year, damn, going on 2 years ago. It was mental health. It was YouTube. It was art. It was business. It was helping people, giving advice, and listening. It was those 5 things. Right? I didn't know much else back then. I was pretty fucking clueless besides that. I was pretty fucked in the head besides that, but I knew I loved these things. And so I ruthlessly learned about them. And a year later, in May of 2024, I began my 101-day stint of daily uploads on my channel, JC Dubs. Ever since then, I've never been the same. I'm a creator. I'm a philosopher. I'm an executor. I'm not just a dreamer. I'm an actualizer of my dreams. And most people can't say that. But here's the thing. You only feel behind because you're not making the progress that you know you could be making. Like, the thing is, like, you don't actually need to be fully actualized in your purpose. Like I said, I'm not fully actualized in my highest version. You don't need to be fully actualized to be fulfilled every day. All you need to do is make progress. All you need to do is take a step. I promise you. You only feel behind because you're not making the progress that you know you could be making. You're not taking the steps that you know you could be taking. It's not actually about other people. It's about the fact that you're just not showing up for yourself. Like, just admit it. Like, admit it to yourself. I made a post and I said, you don't have to know everything. Just fucking show up and hit post. All right, I made a note on Substack. And Michael Burry had commented. He said, what the fuck did I do to deserve such violence? And I said, you didn't express your deepest heart's desire. Cut that bullshit out, Michael. Fuck. Cut that bullshit out. Your internal worth is beyond measure. Stop believing in this false perception of lack. Right? I've already gone from that. Right? From a metaphysical perspective, you can't be lacking. Your worth is infinite. Just stop. You feel bad not because your internal worth is lacking, but because you know that you're not doing all you can to actualize your external worth. You're just not showing up for yourself. That's why you feel like shit. That's your fucking problem. Right? If we've gotten down to the metaphysics now, if we understand, if we're perceiving reality correctly, now it's just on us. Like, you have a purpose. You have a unique gift to contribute to the collective. Your external worth is a reflection of that. You shouldn't feel bad about not being fully actualized in your external worth. It's a never-ending and constantly unfolding process. Like I said, you don't need to be fully actualized. All you need to do is be making progress. That's it. And so you shouldn't feel bad about not being fully actualized in your external worth. It's a never-ending and constantly unfolding process. However, you should absolutely feel bad about not actualizing as much of your higher self as possible in this physical lifetime. Yeah, I'm going to call you out on that one. You should feel bad about not being in your fullest potential. You should absolutely feel bad about not showing up for yourself and making progress towards actualizing a vision that means a lot to you. Yes, I actually will make you feel bad about that. Because you should move from that pain and be like, fuck that. Get out of here. I'm going to make this happen. The fuck? You should feel bad about that. You should feel bad about that stagnation. Because evolution and growth is your nature. You are supposed to be constantly growing and evolving, constantly moving and expressing, which means you should be constantly extracting that infinite potentiality of your higher self into your lower self, your most realized self into this current physical lifetime. You should always be growing. You should always be expanding. You should always be building. What do you build? Build your mind, build your body, build your brand, build your business, build your skills, build your portfolio, build literally anything. I promise you'll start feeling more fulfilled instantly. Like dead ass. Like I swear to God, you'll start feeling it instantly. If you're stagnant, you'll feel it. What do? You just start fucking building something. I'm pretty sure none of us like the feeling of stagnation. Right? And so it's like, oh man, I want to build, Jaden, but I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? I'm like, I still got limited beliefs in my ears. Sorry, gang, I got you. Here's the problem. You're still not understanding that the programming is getting to you. You don't even know what program is getting it to you. I need you to deny the mask and embrace the shadow. Now you may hear that and be like, wait, what? Let me cook. I've been saying, don't deny any part of yourself a lot recently. I said that earlier in the vid where I was like, yo, don't deny any of your direct experience, right? Don't deny your personal experience. That'd be spiritual bypassing. Spiritual bypassing is stupid. Right? And so you shouldn't deny any part of yourself. Here's a little caveat. You should absolutely deny the false self. That false precept that you've been identifying as isn't you, motherfucker. That's not you. Like, remember all that bullshit I was talking about earlier that I used to tell myself? Oh, I'm shy, so I can't talk to her. I'm an introvert. I like being in the house. I'm not good enough to make those drawings. Oh, I can't dance. They laugh at me. I'm a gamer, bro. Come at me. Yeah, that one's not changing. But all that other shit was straight cap. Lies. Programming. Software. The thing is, like, you don't have a hardware problem. You have a software problem. It's not how you were built. How you were built is infinite in reflection of your creator, made in the image of your creator. It's the software, it's the programming that's been instilled upon you. What bullshit are you telling yourself? What limited programming have you been sold by your parents or the excuse me. What bullshit are you telling yourself? What limited programming have you been sold by your parents or the school system or religious figures or the media? What false precepts have you been identifying with? Don't bullshit yourself right now. You know what I'm talking about. Deny that false self. That is not you. However, those shadow desires that you feel in your heart, those things that you feel that you want, but you've been repressing, you shouldn't deny those. The false self, the programming, the manifestation of that motherfucker ain't you. But the shadow, the things that you've been repressed, that are probably manifesting in an unhealthy way, those things point to who truly is. Those do point to who you are. A suppressed expression of your unique self's light. That is what the shadow is. And so this is why I need you to stop denying your shadow. Because inherently, you've been suppressing a part of yourself and thus snuffing out an aspect of your unique self's light. And so if you've been suppressing yourself, you're creating suffering. I mean, think about it. A shadow isn't actually real. It's simply the absence of light, right? It's not like the presence of some other thing called shadow. It's merely the absence of light that creates the image of shadow. The shadow acts out its desires in an unhealthy way because you've been denying an authentic part of yourself. Since it can't express naturally and healthily, it's forced to manifest as an unconscious and almost unhealthy or almost always unhealthy shadow instead. Since it can't express naturally and healthily, it's forced to manifest as an unconscious and almost always unhealthy shadow instead. I needed to emphasize that one again. You deny your shadow while failing to understand that that's the part of you that will get you to the next level. While failing to understand that that's the part of you that you need to accept the most. Stop denying your shadow. Integrate your shadow. There's a fellow Substacker. He had I made like a little post talking about like stop denying your shadow. Like it, a part of this essay kind of stemmed from that post. And he had basically restacked it. That's like retweeting on Substack. And he said, there's gold in them there shadows. I said, there is indeed, Taylor. That bitch is a gold mine, if you ask me. And yet, you're pressing it. Like, what? That's crazy work. But trust me, I understand. Right? This is my response to Taylor. I said, too true. I've been learning this one through experience the last couple of weeks. Firstly, through dark desires manifesting in my physicality, mentality, and sexuality that I've been learning to integrate. Physically, through fitness and fighting. Mentally, competition, business. Sexually, I mean, I'm not like fucking or anything, but if I was, I'd be fucking. But dark desires that I've been learning to integrate. That's firstly how my shadow has been manifesting. Second was this is the first week that I'm choosing to have or this is the second week now that I've been choosing to have a conscious and healthy relationship with cannabis. I'm not gonna lie, I've been fucking up this week. I've been getting high like every day. Now, granted, I'm not judging myself because I see that this really isn't serving me as best as it can. You know, I'm still trying to find what's in my awareness here, but I'm not gonna lie. There's still things that, you know, your boy Dubs has to work on, but like I said, it's all a process. You don't need to be fully actualized in your highest version. You just need to know you're making the progress. And if you don't judge yourself, if you don't keep yourself in guilt and in shame and judgment, you can actually begin making progress. The thing is, you keep denying yourself, you keep holding yourself in guilt and shame and judgment, and that only keeps you more oppressed. It's like the thing is, you won't do anything, you won't heal anything if you don't actually allow yourself to fully feel it and fully come for it to fully come into your awareness, for you to observe it with neutrality. And you inherently can't observe things with neutrality if you're guilting it, shaming it, judging it, because inherently those are negative emotions. So you have to be able to observe your desires, observe your mistakes, observe your negative behaviors, observe your things with pure neutrality, honestly, and just see that it's all a part of the process, because it is. But this is my second week choosing to have a more conscious and healthy relationship with cannabis. Even still, I know that I still am claiming a more conscious relationship with cannabis, because before I was like smoking like bullshit cartridges. Like, that shit is trash. I'm never smoking those shits again. I'm only smoking flower now. So I'm still claiming that. So that's like a second way my shadow, I've been integrating that. And then 3, I've been being more abrasive and ruthless with my perspective and my beliefs. Been getting way more cutthroat, way more like cut to the point, way more like discerning, way more like polarizing. I love it. Right? These are all things I've denied in myself for a long time. And it's been a very beautiful past few weeks for me. And this is what birthed from it. In terms of like this essay. I genuinely know that this new level of integration has not only brought a deeper connection and love for myself, for Mother, the Divine Feminine. I connect with Mother every day during my prayer. I wake up, I say, Mother, or during my prayer, I say, Mother. Thank you for allowing me to experience another beautiful day. So, a deeper connection and love for myself, for Mother, and for the world. But I know that my new level of internal abundance will have no choice but to materialize into my desired reality. Kind of have like an interaction with me and my dog Jake. It was like a screenshot of our text. Don't really feel like saying all that. All I'm gonna say is I'm hyped because I'm materializing my desired reality of Bali. Bali, here we fucking come. Here's the message I want to leave you guys off with. Deny the mask. Deny the false self. Reject the bullshit programming. However, those things that have been repressed in you, those things that you've been repressing that other people repress, the shadow, I want you to look towards where that shadow is pointing. And I want you to embrace your unique self. So, how do you really start integrating the shadow? How do you genuinely start making progress in your inner work journey so you can conquer your limited beliefs and take consistent action that's aligned with expressing your unique self? You have to go within and balance those imbalanced perspectives. You have to be able to hold the positive for the negative. This is the mark of mental alchemy. You have to shift your experience from denying the unique self to embracing the unique self. Inherently, you've been repressing your unique self, right? That's why it's been manifesting in shadow. And so instead of denying, you need to accept. Now, this is obviously a lot easier said than done, right? And so, how do you practically make the shift in your experience, right? How do you make lasting change that allows you to permanently shift your reality? How I've done. Though I still have a lot of work to do, I'm nowhere near where I was a year ago. Like a year ago, I hated my life. I was depressed. Now I'm way more in love with life than I've ever been. And like I said, I'm still struggling with stuff. I still have things I go through. And yet I'm still in love with life. And you can't fake this kind of shit. So how do you do it? You become a mental alchemist. Here's the thing, guys. Like, perception is experience. And so if you shift your perception, you shift your experience. This is the foundation of mental alchemy. In my new course, Mental Alchemy 101, I discuss the foundational principles and practical tactics that I personally used to transmute my negative experiences into positive experiences. Without being able to reframe my own pains and struggles into purpose and service, I wouldn't be making this video right now. I wouldn't be recording this right now, right? You wouldn't be listening to this right now. I wouldn't be so in love with life and be feeling fully immersed in my purpose. Right? I posted a note saying I got to cook on this one, but I cooked up a title saying I'm 21 and fully immersed in my purpose. Most people could only dream to be so lucky, and that sucks. Genuinely. Like, that sucks. Right? But I wouldn't be here right now so fully immersed in my purpose without this foundation of skill of mental alchemy or of reframing the narrative. Like, it is my opinion, like, this is by far the most important skill I've learned over the past 5 years of my mental health journey. Although I've only been in my personal development journey going on 2 years, I've been on my mental health journey going on 6 years. I started this shit when I was 15, back in high school with my social worker. That's when I started really going within, learning about psychology, learning about myself, learning about my inner world, learning about empathy and connecting with myself and communicating and understanding that. And then when I understood the metaphysical perspective, that's when everything really shifted for me. Right? And this is why I really want to bring Mental Alchemy 101 to people, because I feel like I can bring this mental health, this more psychological, and this metaphysical perspective, which was really what brought the healing to me. By mastering the art of reframing the narrative, you can wield the infinite power of mental alchemy and thus transmute your pain into purpose. By mastering the art of mental alchemy, you can transcend the constant suffering that duality and our hard emotional experiences causes. Not to say you won't suffer or struggle. Like I said, I still do. That would be unrealistic in our polarized universe, right? We live in a dualistic universe. That's just not gonna happen, right? There's a law of rhythm. However, you can transcend the constant mental suffering that is attached to our hard experiences and adversity. That is absolutely a reality, because that's a reality I live in. Like I said, I don't judge my mistakes, my fuck ups, the things I'm still trying to work through. I don't attach guilt or shame or judgment to them. I perceive them in the light of growth. I perceive them in the light of my highest evolution. I perceive them in the light of this is for me, not to me. And so because I reject victim consciousness and I embrace creator consciousness, because I am an alchemist, how can I suffer? In Mental Alchemy 101, I discuss the mindsets, metaphysics, and practical tactics to help you reframe your negative experiences and shift your perception of them, thus allowing you to permanently shift your reality. So, ready to become a mental alchemist? You can gain access to the full Mental Alchemy 101 course by upgrading to a paid subscription to my Substack for $88 per month, or you can join for $222 per year. Killer steal, if you ask me. By upgrading, you not only gain access to the Mental Alchemy 101 course, but you also get my Block to Boundless Creativity course, as well as group coaching as a part of the DRC Inner Circle. So if you're watching here on YouTube, check out that second link description. Come join up there, gang. All right? Want to see you there. Oh yeah, we also have a DRC Inner Circle WhatsApp. Pretty lit. I had like a quick, some screenshots here. Me and my dog Sam, we were going back and forth talking about like some workout stuff. Sam would ask me questions about like, yo, what should I focus on in terms of like, um, I don't my brain doesn't work. I need to stop recording. If you want to see it, go look at the post. All right? Anyways, once you upgrade, we'll hop on a 45-minute onboarding call as soon as possible where we can discuss your specific struggles and I can help you apply the general information to Mental Alchemy 101 to your unique situation experience. Right? As much as I love making general content, I'm a coach, I'm a teacher, really because I love helping the individual. Because I know that, like, I'm a metaphysicist, right? I love the general, but I'm also like a metapsychologist, right? I apply the general to the individual. And so, if you want to be, you know, if you'd like some personalized help from somebody who's genuinely done this shit, who really has experience in inner work, in mental health, in living a life that they actually love, come join the DRC Inner Circle, all right? Do it today. Be better for it tomorrow. Stay blessed. Stay loving. Yeah, actually, I do want to say this. Actually, yeah. Nah. Fuck that shit. Yeah, fuck it. I'm out.